The purpose of this meeting was to formulate plans for economic reforms for the U.S.
House management, economics, dealing with house management. So they was all setting it up as a diabolical scheme to enslave you, and you don't own shit. That's what they was doing. Go ahead.
This is where the banking cartel began in this country. The idea of a central bank had always been rejected, and so the men who met on Jekyll Island needed to come up with a way to trick the people into allowing a central bank to be instituted.
All right, man, these people today, they don't have a fucking clue. You got some of them Edomites that know about it. You got some of them Edomites that know about it. But the average Jake, he don't have a fucking clue, man. He don't have a fucking clue, man. You know, he just walking around. Average Jake in the hood don't have a fucking clue, man, what's going on, man. He think he got it. He got $5,000 in his pocket. He think he got it. He think he own and pop it. You don't even know, man. That ain't even real money, man. That ain't even real money, man. That's currency, whatever is circulation, man. And the elite put that in circulation, man.
God. 2 Corinthians 2:11. These Satan should get an advantage over us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So that was them trying to get an advantage over the people. But like we stated, the elect, we're not gonna be ignorant of those devices and what Esau is trying to do.
So you know, this is a warning to younger brothers coming in. You know, forsaking Yahweh Shem Yahushua for money, it ain't worth it, man. Selling out, it ain't worth it. Following the path of Nate Satan, Yohana, Bubba Live, GOCC, let me name it right. ISUPK, Israelite United in Christ, GOCC, them the only ones I can think of, but there's a lot of them out. But Fopi, but I don't know if they actually took money.
No, what's that fat dude? The fat black Tazadakia.
Oh, Comfy. Tazadakia. It ain't worth it, man, going that route, man. It ain't worth it, because that ain't real money, man. You know, it ain't worth it. The Most High gonna kill you for that.
This is Mark 8:36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Bang. See that right there?
Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Good. And it says back on the article.
I got this right here.
Go ahead.
This Proverbs 11. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. That's a false balance. Money not being a gold or silver, a Federal Reserve note. That's a false balance. Jump down to Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death. What's right? The word. You see? This is what's going to deliver you from death, man. You see? Them riches ain't going to help you, man. Money ain't going to help you, man.
This is 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil.
For the love of it, man. You lusting after it. You gotta have it. You can't make no move without it. You forsake the Heavenly Father. You forsake the Heavenly Father and His Son for that money. That's the love of money, man. You forsake your whole nationality. You turn your back on the Heavenly Father and His Son for money.
God.
You out of your mind. Go ahead.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Is the root of all evil. Go ahead.
Which while some covet after, they have erred from the faith.
Yep, they have erred from the faith. Using this money, using this truth as a monetary gain and wickedness. Scheming on Jake. Charging Jake to get the understanding of the word. You know what I'm saying? Setting up starter camps. Talking about you gotta pay for the sign to start a camp. That's pure madness, man. You see?
It says they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves fruit with many arrows.
Yeah, meaning they doing all that, and without that money, man, they can't even function, man. They do whatever it takes, man. They just can't function, man. They do whatever it takes to get that money because they love it, man. You see?
Then when they get it, they still once they get it, they still in sorrows and misery.
Yeah, because they don't have the Heavenly Father and His Son, man. Yep. They don't have man righteousness, man. You always gonna be missing something, man.
What's the old saying? More money, more problems.
More money, more problems. And then when you get money like that, all you do is bring people that's scheming, because everybody trying to get it.
Yep.
You got money like that, all you do is attract schemers, man.
Attract Satan.
And attract Satan, man.
Coming.
You see the adversary. You become an adversary of Yahweh Shemel Washai. You in love with that money like that. So, where we at?
We were reading the article.
Finish that off. Yeah.
It says, okay, it says, I'll go back. It says the idea of the central bank had always been rejected, and so the men who met on Jekyll Island needed to come up with a way to trick the people into allowing a central bank to be instituted. 3 years later, in 1913, President Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act into effect, which is the current central bank in the United States, even though it is actually not governed by any agency of the federal government. 8 years later, in 1921,
they just got that title on it to deceive you. Talking about the Federal Reserve, as if it got something to do with the government. They got a Federal Express. They just a title, okay? But it don't got nothing to do with that. That's a bank to oppress and deceive the people, okay? To lock down economics to where you niggas, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans won't own nothing. You see, and Esau oppresses his own people. So how the hell you want him to govern in the kingdom of heaven with you? You out of your damn mind, man. Most I ain't allowing that shit, man. So that's what he gonna do, try to bring shit like this. Go ahead.
8 years later, in 1921, the Maternity Act was passed, which required all birth to be registered with the state. So now all key pieces were in place for the upcoming bankruptcy, default, and reconstruction. They made us slaves, but they could not technically make us slaves because they would be illegal. So they had to give us a remedy. So what was the House Joint Resolution 92 remedy? It is the government has the obligations to discharge and settle any debts which may occur in our daily lives,
which they ain't gonna do, because you get some of them so-called senators, which they sold out to. They in the bed with the elite. But you get any one of them rebel, lights out. Lights out. They'll be put to death, man. You see? Go ahead.
Yes, this includes mortgages, car loans, utilities, etc.
But I'm just telling you that's the end game of it. They're gonna be put to death. But shit, we don't worry about that. Our power is Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But I'm doing this through the Spirit for edification, so you can see what's happening. Go ahead.
It says, but wait, wasn't the House Joint Resolution 92 repealed? Technically it was, but the provisions that brought us into having no money of substance still exist and apply. In other words, we didn't go back to using real money, gold and silver again, and therefore the maximum of whatever brings the obligation must bring the remedy still applies. So the government still has the fiduciary duty to discharge and settle your debts, because we still do not have access to money of real substance, and because the United States is still in bankruptcy mode. So the Secretary of Treasury is still the receiver in the bankruptcy. Your birth certificate is still a bond, and your debts are still repaid by your future labor, property, taxes, and they are assuring the administration of the office of executive of the state of all caps, John H. Doe name.
So you don't own shit, man. Here it is. This article is telling you you don't own shit, man. You don't own shit with that Federal Reserve note, man. You got a credit card, you don't own shit. You got Federal Reserve note, you don't own shit. Gold and silver is worth real money. So you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans in fairy tale land, man. You asleep. You dead asleep, man. Go ahead.
This is the last little part. It says they still hypothecate the birth certificate and made billions of the birth of naturalization of every new citizen. In fact, in every court case over $7,000 there are new bonds created and treated off your BC birth certificate estate.
Yeah. So you got a birth certificate, you in slavery, man.
So it's just like every person get born, they get 7 G's off the top.
Yeah, the elites.
Yeah.
The elites.
Yeah, it's just like that's and that's why we was taught, right? We cattle, because that's how you do cattle. You brand cattle, right? And then you take them to the auction block and you see what you can get for that cattle. You get money for it.
Yeah.
You know?
So there you go, right now. Go back to Deuteronomy 28.
The book of Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 and 2. And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee if thou shalt
prosperity. Go ahead.
Thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power.
Now this is the Heavenly Father giving the instructions to Moses. And Moses is an offspring of Jacob. Okay? Because the covenant went from Abraham, Isaac to Jacob. So here it is. The Most High is explaining to Moses what he's going to give Israel if they obey. At that time, he was just explaining, but it's about to come to pass in our lifetime. Okay, because even though Solomon was at a period of peace, and even though King David was ruling, had everybody under subjection, right? Even though he was ruling, but it didn't last forever, man. It didn't last forever, man. You see? This right here gonna last forever, man. What we reading right here. This gonna last forever. Once the Negro, Latinos, and Native American elect get delivered out of America, this is right here is gonna be the setup, the blueprint on how Jake is gonna live, man, in the kingdom of heaven, man.